So, dear friends, we are discussing regarding the last concluding part of the organ of medicine, and we have discussed on that day the methods of preparation of the 50 millisievert scale, which was newly introduced into the sixth edition of organ of medicine by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. It is a big aphorism which we have learned in 2 sessions, the exact method of preparation and how one can go ahead with the 50 millisievert scale. And how useful this 50 millisievert scale, basically when the diseases are chronic and where there are chances of getting aggravation by using the centesimal scale. The most mildest potency is the 50 millisievert, and with which we can repeat 50 millisievert without causing any damage to the or without causing any pathological damage to the patient's health. So all those things which we have discussed in length, and let us go ahead. He wants to say more about these potencies and pharmacy part over there. So we'll go ahead with the aphorism number 271 with many footnotes are there with those aphorisms. We'll learn every aspect about those because those are very essential parts in day-to-day practice. Generally, when we do homeopathic practice, these are the practical difficulties which arises, and that's why it is so much needed that we must have a thorough knowledge about all those things. So what he wants to say in 271, let us start with 271. If the physician prepares his homeopathic medicine himself, as he should reasonably do in order to save men from sickness. So see what he says, homeopathic physician should prepare his own medicines. That was his say, but it was written when Hahnemann was alive, and at that time there were no pharmacies available. Now the progress has been made, and there are very good homeopathic pharmacies are present where actual proper methods of preparation of medicines are followed, and that's why it becomes a rather simple task for us to get a ready-made medicine in pharmacy, which was not available at that time, at the time of Hahnemann. And that's why he says that if the physician prepares his homeopathic medicine himself, as he should reasonably do in order to save the man from sickness, he may use the fresh plant itself. But as but little of the crude article is required. If he does not need the express juice, perhaps for the purposes of healing. So he says that if whenever you are preparing your own medicines for the patient, you must prepare it fresh. That is more important. So you have to prepare the fresh juices out of which you can prepare the medicine and give it to the patient. That is the first important thing. Sometimes what he says, but little of the crude article is required. Very little crude form medicine is required. You have to dynamize it by any means. And unless and until you dynamize, you cannot prescribe. You should not prescribe. That's what the thing which has been changed human Hahnemannian mind. And for that purpose, how to prepare and how to give and how to dispense, that method he wants to explain over there. There is one footnote to this paragraph which is mentioned over there, footnote number 157. First, we'll go through the footnote and then we'll learn the rest of the aphorism. What he says in footnote number 157. Until the state in the future, after having attained insight into the indispensability of perfectly prepared homeopathic medicines, will have them manufactured by competent impartial person in order to give them free of charge to the homeopathic physicians trained in homeopathic hospitals, who have been examined theoretically and practically and thus legally qualified. He has given a aspect that if you are not able to do it by yourself, if the time does not permit, if there are more number of patients available, and then it is not possible for homeopathic physician to prepare medicine for each and every patient, then it should be prepared from certain persons who are impartial, who doesn't know to whom you are going to give. They should be properly trained. They should be properly trained with the pharmaceutical methods, whether it should be prepared in centesimal scale, whether it should be prepared in decimal, or whether it should be prepared the 50 millisimal. And that was the Hahnemannian thought. Someone should come out. There is a need for the pharmaceuticals, homeopathic pharmaceuticals, where the medicine should be prepared and those should be genuine enough. And that's why he explained over there, in order to give them free of charge to the homeopathic physician trained in homeopathic hospital. That is a very specific word which is using, who have been examined theoretically and practically and thus legally qualified. So the person who is preparing the homeopathic medicine or the pharmacies which are preparing the medicine, they should be very, very thoroughly legally proved pharmacies. The people should be have and people should have that degree, knowledge, all the methods of preparation of medicine, so that that medicinal genuineness can be useful for us. Otherwise, it will not. If it is not genuine, even though your remedy is right, it will not going to work. And for that purpose, he explains all his thoughts. See how much thought was there in his mind regarding the future generation. See, that was his clarity and his concerns. What he said, the physician may then become convinced of these divine tools for the purposes of healing, but also to give them free in charge to his patients, rich or poor. Again, another concerns that those suffering humanity should the physician should provide medicines free of charge. They should not charge. It should be a basically that word he has utilized when he has written the first aphorism, where he has mentioned the physician's I am only mission. The word comes mission because it is a devotion. It is a devotion on the part of the homeopathic physician to serve the suffering humanity. That thought was there in his mind, and that's why when I was when I looked toward the Hahnemann, I used to think about his thoughts, his genuineness, his mm, devotion towards the homeopathy. How much devoted this fellow is, and at the same time, he was very, very perfect regarding all those things, and he said that everyone should be perfect. So he expect all those things from hello. Basically, the connection is poor, because of which it is getting disconnected. Maybe a fault of internet system. So Hahnemann was so genuine regarding his methods, regarding his work, regarding his thoughts about the future generation, thoughts about the other newly developed physicians, and he explains each and every minute detail regarding the preparation of medicine, how genuine it should be, how qualified the person should be, from whom you can prepare, what part of the medicine should be utilized. All those things, all those hints he tries to explain over there in order to get a very perfect medicine. So this is what he expects from you. So this is the problem. There is a problem with the internet. Still will continue. The unstable internet, that message is there. Still will continue with it. We'll continue with the next part of the aphorism. What he says in further, he takes a few grains in a mortar with 100 grains of sugar of milk, three distinct times, brings them to 1 million trituration, that is up to 3C. Before further potentizing of the small portion of these by means of shaking is undertaken, a procedure to be observed also with the rest of the crude drugs of either dry or oily nature. So he mentions over there that if you want to prepare a medicine from the crude drug substance, which is dry enough, then you cannot make a solution directly. Then you have to triturate it with the method which we have learned in last lecture, how to go ahead with preparation of 3C potency. That method you have to follow. That crude substance you have to develop up to the 3C potency. And then you have to make the solution of that 3C potency. Without that, you should not immediately make a solution. It will not going to work. It will remain inert unless and until it has been triturated to the 3x potency, 3C potency with the help of mortar and pestle. It will, you cannot make the solution of those things. And that's why he mentioned over there are two methods. If you are preparing the medicine directly from the plant, from the juices, it is too simple to make liquid solutions of it. But it is not possible when the crude substances which are dry enough, and if you want to make a solution out of it, then you have to, at least you have to make 3C potency in a triturated form, and then you can prepare the further solution. So he was very clear about his thoughts, and he explains all those methods, how one should follow that, how one should go ahead with that, how one should understand those methods. At least the knowledge of it is necessary. If anyone asks you, you must know how the homeopathic medicines are prepared. So for that purpose, all those things are necessary. Still, till we have a very perfectly prepared medicines are available with us because of pharmacies are available. So that's what he wants to explain over there. We'll finish one more aphorism in today's session, that is aphorism number 272. So what he says, such a globule, that is when you prepared up to certain potency, you have prepared that medicine, and if you put that globule directly on the tongue, such a globule placed dry upon tongue is one of the smallest doses for the moderate recent cases of illness. So, if you give a single small poppy-sized globule to a patient, they will not accept that it will going to work. Second important thing, it will touch only a few part of your mouth. So, it will not work as fast as if you, unless and until you prepare a liquid solution of it. So, he give the practical solution if you want to give that medicine in a different manner. So, what is it? Here, but few nerves are touched by the medicine. If you give a single globule, poppy-sized globule inside the mouth, it will touch only a few nerves. A similar globule crushed with some sugar of milk. Now he explains that how to dispense them. It should be crushed with sugar of milk and dissolved in a good deal of water. So what is that? You make it liquid potency, dissolve in a water, and aphorism 247, and stirred well before every administration will produce a far more powerful medicine for the use of several days. So what he says, if instead of that giving direct globule, if you prepare liquid and ask the patient to take it every time, dissolve it in a water and stir it every time patient used to consume that, and that can be a good solution, and which will touches the maximum part of the GI tract. It will touches the mouth, the tongue, it will touches the esophagus, it will go into the stomach, and maximum part where the nerves are, there is a rich supply of nerves, get touched with that medicine, and medicine will work instantaneously. So what is this? Every dose, no matter how minute, touches on the contrary many nerves. So the medicine will going to work fast if it touches the maximum part of your GI tract. It works beautifully in such types of cases. So one method how to utilize liquid potencies and how to give it, that aspect he tries to explain in this aphorism. And there is a one footnote is also there. The footnote number 158. These globules, that is aphorism number 270, retain their medicinal virtue for many years if protected against sunlight and heat. Underline this. This is the common question asked by many students or many practitioners. Sir, how much time we can keep those medicines with us? I say, if you are keeping it protected from direct sunlight and heat, you can make it, use it even after 30 years and it works. I have in my OPD all those medicines which are there, which I have purchased at the time when I started practice 32 years back. There are some rare medicines which are available in glass files and they are kept inside the cupboard there where there is no direct light, there is no heat, etc. And still I'm using that whenever necessary. And it works. It works in the similar manner. It never loses its potency if it has been in proper vehicle and if it has been proper preserved from the sunlight as well as the heat. This is too important. One must know. If you prepare the globules, they retains their properties maximum time. I'm using them and it works. It works in the similar manner. So see, all those practical questions arises in our mind whenever we used to use the homeopathic medicines. And all those practical solutions he has given over there. So this one must understand and one must know. And these are the things which he tried to explain over there. I think we'll stop over here. Will because next aphorism, 273 aphorism, is related with the law of simplex. That aspect we'll learn in tomorrow's session because that aspect should be cleared in everyone's mind. Because many people never understood that aphorism properly and they make mistakes in application of that specific aphorism. So that we'll keep for tomorrow. If any queries are there, we'll have a chat. Otherwise, we'll conclude the session. Are there any queries? Sir, Satyanarayan sir, you're talking
Okay.
regarding something.
In one aphorism, it is given after the after effects of smallpox, the person got the eye who had lost the eye or vision, some problem in the eye. He got the eye like this.
Hmm.
So when a person male or female is affected by meningitis and lost their eye,
Hmm.
by administrating variola, can we bring back the eye, sir?
It depends what type of affection it is. It, it depends many a time. If it is amaurosis, where there is no pathological change, or amblyopia, when there is no pathological evidence and still the vision is lost, that vision can be brought back. It can be possible. Uh, there are many times incidences happens that there was a case. Just I will share one case. It was the case of tumor. It was between the brain and the mouth inside the oropharyngeal area where the tumor was located and which was pressing the optic chiasma and the child has lost vision totally and it was growing and he completely lost the vision. So that child was brought to me and the poor prognosis was told because if the surgery, they will perform the surgery, they told that we don't know whether we'll bring the vision or not. Only thing is that we can remove the tumor. That's the only guarantee we can give. And that's why that child was brought to me. So I started with him the homeopathic medicine. No one was expecting that something will happen because such a pathological problem was there. And after starting a medicine, within first month, he started getting the vision. I was
Sir,
surprised after because I was just checking his side. Then I used to ask him, "Are you able to see?" He says that, "Sir, I'm able to see you half of the you." And then I used to ask, "What type of what color shirt I have? I have using." Then he used to tell me. I was confirming. Within 3 months, he got the very good vision. He was able to find it out big letters over there. So such pathologies can revert. if our medicine is perfect. The same thing can happen if the simillimum comes by either natural way or by the artificial way. It works. It used to work. There are many examples given by Hahnemann in the footnotes of when he explained the law of similars by giving collection of examples not from his own, but they were collected from the many allopathic journals. They were collected from the Upland journal. They are the references he has mentioned. So in the aphorism number, I think so, 44, 45, 46, and footnotes to them. And he has mentioned many examples of such types of cures, and that can be possible. So when the symptom similarity is there, then it used to work in such manner. And such types of examples are given in chronic diseases also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other query? Any other question? So we'll meet tomorrow with the same next aphorism where he wants to explain the law of simplex, and that we have to understand with a modern perspective. So that I will going to discuss in detail in tomorrow's session. Okay. Thank you. Thank you being there, everyone. Thanks a lot.